gapminder.org and is being narrated and taught by Evan Brammer. Life expectancy is the total number of years that the average person can expect to live in a certain area. Sometimes that information, that data, is low if child deaths are common. In order to better illustrate this concept of life expectancy, we're going to take a look at two different nations, very different in where they are in the world and their living conditions. First, Burundi, who we've calculated as having an average life expectancy of 50 years, and Sweden, whose average life expectancy is 81 years. The question is, can you get old in Burundi? Again, Burundi is a south-centrally located African nation who stereotypically most people would believe would have a low life expectancy. Let's take a look at 5 newborn Burundians. Pierre, Liz, Jean, Anne, and Sarah. How long would they live in Burundi if the conditions remain the same as they are right now or in 2007? Unfortunately, Pierre would most likely die before he reached the age of 1. Liz would make it to the age of 36 before passing away. Jean would pass away at 57. Anne would die when she turned 72. And Sarah at the age of 84. So you see that we have 1 child, 2 adults, and 2 elderly. So yes, it is possible for a Burundian to get old. In fact, 2 of the 5 have reached an older age. To calculate their life expectancy, we calculate the mean. We add all 5 ages together and then divide by the number. In other words, we would take the life expectancy or the average age of each person in the country and then divide by the population to find out what the life expectancy is. Here we see that the life expectancy is 50. Now in Sweden, we calculated that the life expectancy was 81 years. That's a full 31 years more than Burundi. So the question becomes, in Sweden, do people live 31 years longer than the Burundians? Again, to help us illustrate this, we're going to look at 5 newborn babies. Per, Lisa, Jan, Anton, and Sarah. Now Per is going to live until he's about 63. Lisa, 77. Jan, 84. Anton, 88. And Sarah, 93. So here we have 1 adult and 4 that made it to old age. To calculate the mean, we add them together, divide by 5 for an average life expectancy of 81. So let's compare these two nations. Sweden, having an average life expectancy of 81, is again a full 31 years higher than Burundi. Putting them on top of each other, you see that the average person is actually living much higher. However, in Sweden, however, there are some Burundians that are living long. You see that there are 2 that are matching up fairly close to the Swedes. Yet, dying young in Burundi has a much different definition than in Sweden. So no, not all Burundians live 31 years shorter than Swedes. In fact, by having such a high infant mortality rate, with children dying so young, it tends to skew the data towards a lower life expectancy. Remember, life expectancy is an average. It's the average number of years that a person in a region can expect to live. We learned that most Burundians can get older than 50, but because some die in childhood, the life expectancy is lower. Where life expectancy is lower because of, often life expectancy is low where child deaths are common. Not all Burundians die younger than 50. It's just that some die much younger. This has been a presentation on life expectancy. I hope that you now understand your world a little better.